We just had a game-changing college football 26 patch, and a lot of huge changes were made to the game that were badly needed. So in today's video, I'm going to break down everything you need to know about this patch. Let's get into it now. So the first thing I want to talk about is some big changes and improvements that were made to coverage, especially zone coverage. So before the patch, flat zones, especially hard flats, these zones, hard flat zones, were terrible. You could chuck flat routes, running back flats, quick outs, all sorts of routes directly into the area the hard flat was supposed to defend, and they would give up yards, like at least 3, 4, 5 yards, if not more. It was very frustrating. Well, after this patch, hard flat zones are much better. You'll see here, if I just try to throw the running back flat out of the backfield at a hard flat, he's going to break on that ball, he's going to break it up, potentially pick it off. There's no more, 4 or 5 yards throwing at a hard flat, running back out of the backfield, right? Now, this also will apply to just quick outs to the slot or such routes like this. Even when they have a vertical route, breaking down the sideline, this hard flat defender is going to be smart enough and aware enough, hey, we need to jump the flat. This is a huge change. I mean, the flats were just way too easy to attack. Now, the other zone that I feel like is way better is the mid-read. The mid-read, you'll notice after this patch, will sprint back and get back much quicker. Like before the patch, we could do a 4 vertical concept, and this seam streak would just always get wide open. Now, you're seeing that's not the case. This mid-read does such a good job. This guy right here, notice how he gets downfield, covering that seam streak. And I mean, this could have been an interception. This was very good coverage. So with the mid-read improvement and the flat zone improvement, cover 2 stock went up. Let me tell you boys, it went up. Speaking of coverage, one of the biggest things I see people complaining and talking about is AGS, aka the aggressive catch. And what I can tell you is from my experience, the AGS are not as bad after this patch. Now, I'm not going to say you'll never get ag, but I'll just show you guys here. You throw up one-on-ones, they're not nearly as consistent anymore. You're going to notice, I'm going to do a few examples. You click on, you go for the swat, you're going to notice that you're just not going to get dunked on. Because like I can promise you, before this patch, I was getting dunked on by running backs in double coverage. Just egregious shit. Left and right, and now you're seeing these are one-on-one balls, and they've yet to catch one. I will say, like, you definitely, if you want to like have the best shot of defending these, you gotta click on a swat. If you click on a swat, you're gonna notice you have a much higher success rate. You just saw I ran several examples, not one was completed. The swat is really good, and the ags definitely are not as bad now, thankfully. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is hot routes. There were actually a few very important changes regarding hot routes. The first thing is, real quick guys, if you want to dominate college football 26 and win more games, sign up for my VIP membership on sportsgamerz.com. You'll get access to all my premium content for the entire year, including all my offensive and defensive ebooks, weekly tip updates, and more. I'm running a limited time sale on my yearly membership where you get 7 months for free and 6 bonus ebooks. Over 99% of our members say that they win more games with our tips. Click the link in the description of this video and start winning more games now. When we got this game right, you could not put a slot receiver on a flat route. That ability just was not there. But you're going to notice now, you actually do have the ability to put your slot receiver on a flat. When you bring up the hot route menu for slot receivers, you'll see next to slot fade is flat. And this is actually really big because the ability to put a receiver in general on a flat is actually very important, especially in the red zone. I really do appreciate this change. This is big. Now, the other thing with hot routes is before this patch, there was a glitch in the game where you could basically flip your formation or send guys in motion however you wanted to do it. And when these receivers were behind the line, you could basically put them on running back routes, all sorts of hot routes they weren't supposed to have. You could hot route them to just crazy routes. And it was kind of a glitch. You could even make your hot routes flip by doing a similar tactic. That is no longer in the game. if you motion or flip your formation to get players behind the line, their hot routes are not glitching anymore. You're not going to be able to do this. That is something that I feel like people are going to feel mixed on, but it was a glitch. It is now out of the game. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, speaking of glitches, is the Penn State Wildcat glitch, this RPO swing play. A lot of people have been abusing this before the patch, right? And basically what would happen is you could snap the ball and you could just take off immediately with the guy taking the snap, and the defense does not react to it. Now, yeah, you can still call the play, but what you're going to notice is you can no longer immediately take off with this player. So, watch what happens. If there's blitzes coming, look at how he basically has to get stuck in an animation to where he's just not moving. Like, he's stuck for a good second or two, and if they're sending pressure like this, you're just going to get hit every time. You're not going to be able to get away from the defense. So, this play, while, yeah, you could still run it, and if you somehow go against somebody who doesn't blitz you, yeah, you'll probably get good yards, but if they do blitz you, because the guy taking the snap is stuck in an animation, the play is just nerfed. It is no longer overpowered. It's a lot easier to defend, thankfully, because this play was a cheat code. Now, let's talk about something that I was very interested in, which is the O-line blocking. Because just pass protection in general and the way you did your adjustments for pass protection, there were so many bugs that needed to be overhauled, and it actually was. This was a big W as far as I'm concerned. Guys, let me know in the comments what you think about the new pass protection system. But basically, what has changed is before the patch, if you want to slide protect or pass protection and you wanted to change your pass protection to say like a base protection, right? You hit down on the left stick and the menu would basically stay on your screen and you'd have to hit or press the right analog stick in to get the pass protection menu off your screen, and it was just a lot of bugs. But now if you slide protect, base protect, however you want to do it, it disappears immediately. So the menu's gone. You no longer have to deal with the menu freezing, popping up. It is a lot smoother, okay? So that is good. Now, the other thing I've noticed is as far as like the 4 down linemen, these stunts still do work. The pass rush in general, I don't know if I'd say it's quite as good. They still work. But what I will say is if you have a mobile quarterback against stunts, you can pretty much just get up out of there. So for the guys that are still trying to run stunts every play, will they get in? Yeah, they'll still get in here and there. But the mobile quarterback is definitely really good. You can just get away from them more times than not. So I feel like if you have a mobile quarterback, that's going to be huge. The stunts are definitely still there, but you can just get away from them. And the counter to that obviously is not doing the same stunt every time, but the real counter is contains. And I will say the QB contain, that's another thing that I feel like was kind of broken before the patch. I'm not going to say it's no longer broken, although you will see they do tend to do a better job. You guys see the contain there. He definitely did not let me get outside of him. He definitely did his job. He's coming off the block. That is pretty good. Now, I'm not going to say they're perfect because there are, things people try to do to kind of get the contains to dumb out. That stuff, it is what it is. But as far as being actually useful, I do feel like the contains have a place in the game, right? They're definitely something you're going to want to look at. I want to talk about something that was definitely abused online, and that was just immediately flipping your formation when you broke the huddle. Now, this was most abused from bunch formations like bunch tight end, right? And people did it from certain formations because of the extra hot routes, which was taken out of the game. But then other people just did it because it messed up your defensive alignment. It messed up your adjustments. And honestly, like the offensive players just were able to get back in position way too fast compared to the defense. You can still flip your formation, don't get me wrong. But the change is there's like a delay to it. You can't just immediately break the huddle, bam, flip. No, there's actually a delay to when you can do it. So you can't just immediately spam flipping your formation. That actually is very good, in my opinion, for online play. If you don't play online as much, you probably haven't noticed it. But that definitely was something that was addressed. All in all, I do feel like this patch made a huge difference in just the quality of the game. I like it a lot. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Till next time, I'm out.